Hello, Captains. It is the Doctor, and on this fine day, I have a little bit of Star Trek Online news to share with you. I was browsing the Star Trek Online webpage today, and there have been some announcements on some upcoming things that I think you guys will find very interesting. There is an addition to the Agents of Yesterday expansion coming. This will be coming October 25th. Am I correct on that? Yes, I am, because it's right there in big, bold blue, October 25th. How could I miss that? This is called Artifacts. It's basically an update to the expansion. Think of it like a mini season, although there probably won't be as many big releases like you would get in a season. In fact, I don't even know if they're considering this a season update because it doesn't have any season attached to it. There's no season number here. They're just calling it an update. So I guess we'll find out more later. It says here, the mission continues for Star Trek Online Agents of Yesterday on October 25th. Captains will have access to Agents of Yesterday artifacts, an update to the last expansion that introduces a brand new episode and story arc that will carry Star Trek Online through the next year. A Star Trek the Original Series themed Starbase fleet holding, plus all of the new modern lighting upgrades that were recently featured in the console version of the game. So right off the gate, I find this to be very welcomed. I wish all of this had come out with the expansion, of course, but I guess they were finally able to put this in a little later. This often has happened in the last couple of years, specifically, where they release a full season, but then afterwards there's like a half-season update, a 0.5 update. So it seems that they went this route with this expansion as well. They released the Agents of Yesterday expansion, and then now we're getting a 0.5 upgrade of that, which I guess is keeps the game interesting. It keeps things coming. It keeps content flowing, which we certainly need. It says here a new episode. So we're getting a mission, a new mission, but it sounds like we're just getting one mission to start off with. But it sounds like it is the start of a brand new story arc that's going to continue in 2017. So I don't know if that means we'll get any more missions for this story arc in 2016. We may only get this one mission here in October, and then we may not get the other missions until 2017. Or we get this one mission now in October, and then we get another mission in like November, and then another mission in like December. I have no idea. It doesn't say that here. It just says that it's going to be a brand new episode, and this will be the start of a story arc that will continue or run through 2017. Now, I do have to wonder what this story arc is going to be like, because, I mean, we had the big Iconian War story arc since the game's introduction. That was concluded. Then you had Future Proof, the whole Time War thing. And you know what? I thought that there was going to be more to that. But I guess they ended that with Procyon 5. I guess that's the last episode that deals with the Cold Time War thing. So I guess that's going to be the end of that. The end of the Time War is done. We're done with all that. And the Temporal Cold War, I guess it's called. I call it a Time War. Same thing. Time War, Temporal Cold War. All of that is done. So it looks like this whole new story arc is going to take the game in a different direction yet again. Maybe, hopefully, some more exploration. That would be good. That's what we thought we were going to get into with Future Proof. They started off with an exploration mission, and then it got into the whole temporal Cold War thing, which nobody... Well, I guess actually some people were expecting that, although they did mention when they started that they were going to be getting back to the exploration basis of Star Trek. But then that didn't happen. So I hope this new one can actually fulfill that exploration. So let's continue reading. The newest update to Star Trek Online brings a brand new story arc that will start an adventure that runs through 2017. So this is the start of it. I don't know if we'll get any more of it during this year, though. Captains will be reunited with the Lucari, a warp-capable species originally introduced in Season 11 that seeks to expand their exploratory efforts. Players will accompany the Lucari on a mission to an alien solar system, where they will discover the joys of exploration, the dangers of unknown space, and begin to unravel a mystery that will have long-lasting consequences. Okay, well, it sounds good on paper, but then so did the start of the whole temporal Cold War thing. Like we were going to get back to exploration, and then it just diverted from there. We started fighting Tholians, and all heck broke loose when Caldano showed up, and you know how all that went. So I don't know if this will take a divergent turn as well, or if it will stick to more of an exploration type of mission. But this first one for sure sounds like that's how it's going to start, and it will be with the Lucari. So it sounds interesting. I don't know where it's headed, and I don't know what the storyline will actually be about or what this mystery is. I wonder where else they can go in this game. I mean, they have explored. I mean, let's look back here. They have explored some very, very epic space opera storylines in this game. I mean, we had the whole Iconian War. I mean, just an enemy that's way more advanced than us. It involved time travel and dimensional travel, and all kinds of things went crazy. And then that went into the temporal Cold War, which was like just nuts, bonkers. And we're dealing with 29th century and 31st century, and we're dealing with mirror universe invasions and all that. And just, I mean, the game has taken on some epic storylines. So are they going to pull it back a bit? Are these storylines now going to be a little more tame, a little more episodic, a little more like you would expect from a TV show? Or are they going to go epic again and have some kind of like epic crazy mystery that's going to build up to a huge reveal and storyline like they've done in the past? I don't know which direction they're going. It really doesn't say here. But I am curious of where they're headed. Are they going to rein it in? Or are they going to go balls out on this? If you know what I mean. Agents of Yesterday artifacts also includes the return of Starbase K-13, which was lost during Agents of Yesterday to a temporal anomaly. This space station will be available to all fleets as part of the new Star Trek The Original Series themed fleet holding. In addition to our new story episode and this amazing new fleet holding, the update will feature upgraded lighting and graphics designed to improve the overall visual quality of the game. These modern lighting technologies recently debuted with the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 releases of the game. Okay, I am highly interested in Starbase K-13. When I played the mission where that Starbase was mentioned, I asked in the comments, you know, have we heard of K-13 before? Is it in a TOS episode that I've just missed? And the answer is pretty much no. This is new. This is something cryptic that has created. In that storyline, it was explained that K-13 disappeared. And we kind of, I think we saw that happen actually in that mission. It disappeared. So there's a mystery here. Where did it go? It disappeared into a temporal anomaly. What happened to it? What's been going on it all this time? And now that it's back, what happened? I love that mystery. That mystery to me is Star Trek and makes this game and the universe, the franchise, interesting. Something like this. It reminds me quite a bit of Babylon 5. If you haven't seen Babylon 5, I guess I won't spoil you, but if you have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about with stations disappearing by temporal anomalies. You know exactly where I'm going with that if you've seen Babylon 5. If you haven't, then I just won't spoil it for you. But there's a parallel there. There's a huge parallel. And I love Babylon 5. I love that mystery that was there with involving all of that. I mean, an incredible mystery. So I kind of like this idea. It parallels that. So it's a pretty cool idea. So that's neat. I like where that's going. I wonder if this Lucari mission this Lucari storyline. I wonder if that's going to intersect with Starbase K-13 or not. I don't know. Or is that going to be a completely separate thing? I don't know. It's going to become a fleet holding, so this is not really like, you know, a playable thing, or I guess it will be a playable mission where you discover it or whatever, but then it's just going to turn into a fleet holding. So basically, you know, like the reputation system or fleet reputation system, your fleet will just have to add to it, build up, and I guess you'll be able to visit K-13. You'll be able to go there as a new fleet starbase, and I suppose that they will have new items to purchase there, new consoles or who knows what. But I'm guessing they'll have fleet items that you can purchase there, you know, using your fleet marks and fleet credits and stuff. That's probably what it's going to turn into. I guess that's what the fleet holding is. So expect that. But of course, if you're not in a fleet, I guess that doesn't affect you too much outside of the original mission. The fleet holding will not affect you if you're not in a fleet, obviously. If you're in a fleet, though, I guess it's going to give you access to some new gear that we've never had before. And so that should be interesting. I hope they give us Mark 14 gear from this fleet holding, because when the first fleet holdings started, it was max level gear in the fleet holding. In fact, that was where you could find some of the best gear, was the fleet holding, because it was max level ultra rare stuff. And then they upgraded to Mark 13 and Mark 14 gear, but they didn't upgrade the Fleet Starbase's gear. It still gives you Mark 12 stuff, and they've never gone back and like updated those gear levels. And I've always held a beef with them about that, because I feel that they need to. I feel that the fleet holdings should be where you go to get the best gear. It was when it started out, so why is it not now? So maybe Starbase K-13 will start out with Mark 14 gear. Gosh, I hope so. If it doesn't, and they just give Mark 12 gear, and then they want you to upgrade it to 13 and 14, that's going to be a little bit of a ripoff, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. But I am very excited for the mystery of Starbase K-13. That's what I'm in this for, and I want to see where that goes. And then the last here, we are getting the visual improvements coming to the game, finally. These, I guess, did release with the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and the PC version has just been waiting for them. And now they're going to be delivered. A whole new lighting system being introduced to the game. I am guessing, I don't have details on this yet. I don't have a factual answer to this question that I'm fixing to pose. But I'm guessing that the new lighting system will work both with DirectX 9 or DirectX 11 in the game. So I know that there are still people playing on GPUs that necessarily don't support DX11, especially like older laptop GPUs may not support DX11, and you may be stuck only being able to run DX9 in this game. So I hope that these new lighting effects will apply to you guys still running DX9 or DX9 capable GPUs. I hope you don't have to only have DX11 selected to use them, is what I'm trying to get at. And maybe, hopefully, there will be an actual advantage for people that are able to select the DX11 renderer in the game. Maybe there will be a performance boost finally for DX11. There really hasn't been any difference between running the game in DX9 or DX11, but with these new lighting properties that they're bringing to the game, there could potentially be a performance difference now with DirectX 11 over DX9 in the game, bringing a performance increase using DX11 versus DX9. I would like to see that finally being taken advantage of. I think DX11 has not been well utilized in this game, but with these new lighting techniques coming into the game here, finally it's getting a little more modern. It's still behind the times, way behind the times in terms of game graphics, but it's at least a little more modern than it was when it released, with these new lighting schemes coming to the game. So I'm glad they're coming, and I hope we actually see the real difference to these new lighting things in like everything. I hope it's not just limited to like certain missions or stuff like that. I hope it's totally global to the entire game. So like just standing in ESD would look different, you know, just anywhere you go in the game would look better. I'm looking forward to seeing what that difference is going to make in the game. So that's what we can look forward to. Some new things coming on October 25th. So that's the end of the month. Still have a little ways to go here. There has been some other information as well. I'm not going to go over stuff like the keyring bundle and release notes. You guys can read that. I'm just interested in this stuff here. Fleet Station K-13 holding. Let's read about this. So there's a little picture of the K-13 interior. Something has definitely happened on this station. It is in disrepair. When some Federation captains find a dilapidated old spaceship floating out in the void of space, they scrap it and think nothing more of it. But a more insightful captain might see that old broken down wreck as more of an opportunity to restore a piece of history from a bygone era. Time may pass, but a classic will always be just that, a classic. In terms of scale, a ship is far too small with what will be coming soon to Tribble. Let's talk about space stations. More specifically, let's talk about a new old fleet holding. Fleet leaders will soon find themselves the proud new owners of a somewhat neglected piece of 23rd century history in dire need of some TLC, located high in orbit above a picturesque alien planet. But why update a space station to look like all the others when your fleet could restore it to its former glory? Technology has certainly improved since those days of old, and it will be up to fleets to retrofit old aesthetics and new capabilities. A space station that serves as homage in the past wouldn't be complete without retrofit technologies from that era. As fleets fix up these space stations, they will gain access to an armory of era-appropriate weapons and kit modules. Cryotubes and stasis pens hold Federation and Klingon officers waiting to be released and put back into duty, and are eager to lend their old-school ingenuity to your galactic restoration efforts. The old space station once held the distinction of studying alien biology and technology, and information gleaned from those studies will exist on databanks waiting to be repaired and put into use in defending the quadrants from exotic threats. Fleets will find blueprints and schematics to new engineering ship consoles, as well as some interesting weapons encountered in the original series. Oh, cool. So, engineering ship consoles. We hope you and your fleet will enjoy restoring this classic piece of technology and reviving the aesthetic of a bygone era or age. It's time to bring this beauty back to life, and you have the keys. Well, this sounds really cool, and it will also give those that are using a 23rd century Starfleet faction character some era-appropriate gear, because as you guys know, once you go to the 25th century, you pretty much just have to start using all the current era gear and items, and you kind of lose that sense of being a 23rd century character that you've created in that faction. But having these era appropriate items will give that character character. Like literally, it'll give that character. It'll make them feel era appropriate more, and they'll have items that are suited to their era of technology. So I really find that interesting, and I believe that will help make the 23rd century faction just feel like a little more like a faction, a little more unique. So good on them for that. Okay, so there's a picture of K-13. Definitely some problems. All right, I'm not going to read this whole thing now. It basically is one of these storyline things to kind of tell you about K-13. I recommend going to the page here and reading this. I'll read it offline myself so I can read all of it, but here we go. At the conclusion of the episode, the painful omen Starbase K-13 was lost to a temporal anomaly. During our update later this year, players will be able to discover the fate of K-13 and find what technologies are locked away inside. Starbase K-13 will become available as a new TOS-themed fleet holding. The space station discovered in previously unknown space will need to be restored to its former glory. So this is going to be in an unexplored part of space. Now that is also very cool. Though the focus of the facility will be strange technologies, both new and old, a contingent of stasis pods and their occupants will offer many new bridge officer and duty officer candidates. Cool. So this is going to be really neat. Feature unlockable projects. Fleets can also unlock interfleet shuttle capabilities to get there. Cool. I am looking forward to that. So this little update called Artifacts is coming October 25th. I will certainly be covering this Artifacts update. As soon as it's published, I will, of course, play the new featured episode. We'll have a lot of fun with that. We'll discover K-13, discovering it, figuring out what happens in that mystery. I am in a fleet, so I know our fleet will be working on the new fleet holding. So I'll show you the progress of that, and we can go visit K-13 or our new Starbase or whatever it is and take a look at it and see what's going to be available there in terms of gear and stuff. And then, of course, I will also look at the new lighting. I will maybe go ahead. I think what I might do is take some before videos. Like I'll do some run-throughs in the game before the release is released of the current lighting to show you what the game looks like now. And then I'll do like the same kind of run-throughs in once the update is released, and I'll make a video and splice them together and show you a before and after of the lighting. How does that sound? That sounds like a cool video. A before and after video of what the lighting does to the game. I'll look at some popular spots like ESD, Chronos. We'll go into some missions and look at that. We'll go to Starfleet Academy. That one's a very brightly lit place. And we will just see what these differences look like. Drozana, popular places like that. So look forward to all those videos later this month when Artifacts is released. I will get to all of it, when it's released. I will cover all of it, and we'll see what it's all about and see if it's fun, and just have a good time with that. So there you go, some new news, some new things to look forward to on Star Trek Online. I am certainly looking forward to all of those things, and I will be covering all of those things, so you know what to do if you want to get those video updates. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.